This is going to be an interesting math class. Hello, welcome to math class on fractions. A fraction is a part of a whole. Wherever you are, do you have a big ball, or you have an apple or an orange? Whatever you have, when you cut out of what you have, that is a fraction of it taken out. Okay, so just have it in mind, or imagine you have a whole apple and your younger one asks you to give him or her out of the apple. So when you get a knife to cut out of the apple to give to your younger one, that part that you have cut out is a fraction. It is a fraction of the apple. So a fraction is a part of a whole. Let's look at types of fractions. Proper fractions. We have proper fractions, we have improper fractions, we have mixed numbers, and we have equivalent fractions. Now, when we talk about proper fractions, the numerator is less than the denominator. The numerator of a proper fraction is less than the denominator. Now, this is what I mean. So if you have 2 over 5, 2 over 5 is a proper fraction because the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So this is the numerator and this is the denominator. So 2 over 5 is a proper fraction, 1 over 2 is a proper fraction, 3 over 9 is a proper fraction, 10 over 14 is a proper fraction. Let's talk about improper fractions. When the numerator is bigger than the denominator, that fraction is an improper fraction. Example is 5 over 2, okay, 11 over 2, 6 over 1 or 6 over 2 is an improper fraction. 6 over 5, 7 over 4. These are examples of improper fraction. Now, what about mixed numbers? From the name mixed numbers, the mixture of a whole number and a proper fraction. A whole number and a proper fraction make a mixed number. So we have 2 whole number, 2 over 5. So this is an example of a mixed number. 1 whole number, 11 over 20. So these are examples of mixed numbers. Now, what do we mean by equivalent fractions? Equivalent fractions are fractions that are equal. They are equal fractions, which means such fractions can be reduced to the lowest terms, or such fraction can be multiplied by another number, making sure that the numerator and the denominators are multiplied by the same quantity. So equivalent fractions are equal fractions. Now, at this point, I want you to pause this video and copy whatever you're seeing on the screen. All right, so now let's continue. Let's change to mixed number. You can only change an improper fraction to a mixed number. Okay, now these are improper fractions. Let's change them to mixed number. 13 over 5. This is how you change to mixed number. You divide 13 by the denominator, okay, and write down the remainder. 13 divided by 5 is 2, which means 5 will go into 13 twice. That's 10. It remains 3. Write down 3 over the denominator 5 over 5. So the numerator will be the remainder. Then you have it as, you have the other number as a denominator. Now let's change 9 over 2 to mixed number. So this is a mixed number. Divide 9 by 2. That will be 4. Okay, that's 8. 4 times 2 is 8. So you'll be left with 1. 1 over the divisor, which is 2. So that's 4.5. Now let's change to improper fraction. Changing mixed number to improper fraction. How do you change mixed number to improper fraction? So let's see. 1 whole number 3 over 4. How do we do that? Just say 4 times 1, 4 plus 3, 7. So the answer is 7 over 4. Okay? 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3, that will be 7. So that is 7 over 4. So this is an improper fraction. Now look at the next one, which is 13 and half. 13 whole number 1 over 2. So let's change this to an improper fraction. 2 times 13 is 26. 26 plus 1 is 27. So that will be 27 over 2. So we have been able to change improper fractions to mixed number and mixed number to improper fractions. Now let's move on. Make sure you write this down. Write an equivalent fraction of each of the following. Like I said at the beginning that equivalent fractions are equal fractions. Now before you write an equivalent fraction of a fraction, check that fraction is the fraction in the lowest term, that is what can divide the numerator and the denominator. If there is no number that can divide, just increase the fraction. When you check the fraction and no other number can divide the numerator and the denominator, then increase the fraction by multiplying by a higher quantity. So now I'll be multiplying the denominator and the numerator by 2 so I can get an equal fraction. You can see that I'm multiplying the numerator by 2. I have to multiply the denominator by the same quantity. So 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. So 6 over 8 is equal to 3 over 4. 6 over 8 is an equivalent fraction of 3 over 4. Now, if I want to have another equivalent fraction, I can say 3 over 4 times 7. I can multiply the numerator and the denominator by 7, okay? So 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. So 21 over 28 is equal to 3 over 4. Now let's look at the next one. 2 over 9. Can we reduce 2 over 9? No, because it is already in its lowest term. So let's increase it. Let's increase using 3. So that will be 2 over 9. Let's multiply by 3. Okay, so 2 times 3 is 6. 9 times 3 is 27. 6 over 27 is an equivalent fraction of 2 over 9. And you can continue. You can keep increasing. Now look at the next one, which is 14 over 20. Can you reduce 14 over 20? Yes, it is not in its lowest term. Something can divide. So if something can divide, if a number can divide, then we have to reduce. Don't increase. If we can divide, if we can reduce it, we have to reduce it. So that will be 14 over 20. Let's divide by 2 because they are both even numbers. 14 divided by 2 is 7. 20 divided by 2 is 10. Can we still reduce? No. So 7 over 10 is an equivalent fraction of 14 over 20. Now look at the next one, 16 over 24. It has a common factor. We can reduce 16 over 24 because they are both even numbers and they are not in their lowest terms. So that will be 16 over 24. Let's divide by 4 because 4 is the highest common factor. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Okay, so we can still reduce if we want. But 4 over 6 is an equivalent fraction of 16 over 24. So if you still want to reduce, you can still reduce by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 2 over 3 is an equivalent fraction of 16 over 24. Now let's move on to the next one. Identify the following fractions, which means we are to name these fractions. What kind of fraction is 2 over 3? Think about it. 2 over 3 is a proper fraction. Proper fraction. You know why? because the numerator is less than the denominator. 11 over 4 is an improper fraction. It is just the opposite of a proper fraction, okay? 8 over 3 is also an improper fraction because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Improper fraction. 110 over 553. This is a proper fraction because the numerator is less than the denominator. So I will write a proper fraction. Right? That's a proper fraction. Now, what if you have one whole number, 2 over 5? This is a mixed number. Okay? This is a mixed number. 3 whole number, 1 over 7. This is a mixed number. So I hope you understand how to change improper fraction to mixed number and how to change mixed number back to improper fraction. So I hope you enjoyed this class and you've been able to identify the different types of fractions. So thank you very much for attending our class today. Make sure you go ahead, do your classwork, but before you do your classwork, copy everything you saw on the screen. Replay this video so you can understand. Now, this is Learning Base Africa. You want to learn more, so make sure you contact Learning Base Africa. Okay, contact Learning Base Africa through WhatsApp on our phone number with our phone number 080-600 90605. My name is Mrs. Adeolu Grace. Thank you very much. I'll see you some other time. Bye for now.